What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks. Today I'm going to be bringing you the second episode of Top Battles of the Week, and so today we will be taking a look at some of the best games that have been submitted to me, and make sure to stay tuned for the end of the video for the Top Battle of the Week. If you would like to submit your gameplay footage for this series, there is information down in the description for how you can submit that footage. In today's episode, we have some Sylph battles, we have some Great League battles, some remix battles, some Open Ultra, some Ultra Premier, so let's jump right into these games. This first battle has been submitted by Leandro, and he has a Bastiodon into a Registeel, which is an absolutely terrible matchup. It looks like he's running Bastiodon double Ghost here. His Sableye is stuck against an Umbreon, which is really not great, but XL Sableye running Return does have some potential to flip this matchup depending on how greedy the opponent gets with their farming. Able to hit the Excellent on the return, very, very good. Actually a CMP tie here, so no extra Snarl goes through. And very surprising that the Umbreon actually shielded that first move, able to get a shield advantage in the secondary matchup. Now check out this play right here. Intentionally undercharges the return, knows the opponent is going to no shield it. The reason being he wants more farm with his Bastiodon, so that way when the Registeel does come in, this Bastiodon has more loaded energy. The foul play damage from the Umbreon is not super threatening to the Bastiodon, and the energy here is way more valuable. So very nice undercharge. Gonna farm this all the way down, get hit by another foul play. It does not matter because he was not able to regain switch advantage on the secondary matchup. Out comes the Registeel. There is a Jellicent sitting in the back, which is going to resist all of Registeel's charge moves. Leandro's farming and perfectly catches a move onto the Jellicent here. Actually ends up catching a Focus Blast, which is double resisted. Flash Cannon would have been single resisted. Out comes a Pelipper. The shield advantage here is very crucial because this Jellicent needs to take out this Pelipper and then have a good amount of play against the Bastiodon. It looks like this is a Bubble Jellicent. Bubble is the fast move. Looks like he's running Bubble Beam and Shadow Ball, able to successfully shield up the Hurricane as well. Does not go for Bubble Beam here. It wants to guarantee that this Pelipper gets out of here. And out comes that Registeel in the back, going to go to debuff City here with these Bubble Beams, and at this point there is pretty much nothing that the Registeel could do. He even attempted a catch on the Bastiodon to make this nice and flashy, but going to be able to come back from this hard lost lead, hard countered in the safe swap, but got a shield advantage, beautiful undercharge with the Bastiodon, and actually able to finish it off with the Bastiodon's flamethrower right here and win this game. Very good game. This next battle has been submitted by Matt Attack 1996. We have a Gengar into an Obstagoon. This is not good at all, and we get a low battery symbol immediately into the game, which you'd never want to see. Going to use the Kingdra safe swap here. The opponent is staying in with the Obstagoon. Obstagoon lead is actually very tough for this line, looking at what Matt has here. Gengar, Kingdra, and Empoleon essentially double weak to an Obstagoon, so thank goodness the opponent is staying in here, because really needs to get rid of this Goon. Gets a shield from the Obstagoon, and then they switch out. Out comes the Gengar, not able to get to this Octazooka before the Gengar is going to be able to take out the Kingdra with the Shadow Punch. Kind of a tough spot here. Actually going to bring out the Empoleon to try to get ahead on some energy. Knows that this is just a Shadow Punch, but gonna try to commit to the farm down on this Gengar, but the Gengar survives with minimal HP and is able to get to another move here. Calls the Shadow Punch, very nice. And now has energy stored. The Obstagoon has been chipped down by the Kingdra a good amount, but out comes that Goon again. Needs to go for the Hydro Cannon here. What is in the back that Gengar is going to have play against? Burns the final shield. This Night Slash is going to do a lot of damage to this Gengar. Needs to get to the Sludge Bomb before the Obstagoon gets out of here. And able to successfully land the Sludge Bomb. What is in the back? What is in the back? It is a Talonflame. This is not good. So times the move to get to this Sludge Bomb against the Talonflame here, but this is not going to be enough to knock it out. The Talonflame is at a move right here. It is at a move. Flame Charge takes it out. And the waterfall damage barely knocks out the Talonflame before the Empoleon goes down. Very nice battle, Matt. This next game has been submitted by StopAlcatraz. Let's jump right into it. Dragonite into Talonflame. Looks like we are playing in Open Ultra League here. And this team does not necessarily have a super nice check to the Cresselia. So going to bring out Excadrill here. Excadrill, we get some classic lag. You'll love to see it. Excadrill is essentially a much glassier version of Galarian Stunfisk, has the same typing and essentially the same moveset, whereas Drill Run is a little bit faster to get to these charge moves. But these Grass Knots really chip away at the Excadrill. They do hit for neutral damage. Able to survive that Grass Knot and get to this Drill Run. Drill Run is the correct move to go for because you get stab damage on it. And gets a shield from the Cresselia, does not want to get farmed down. So actually going to use the Empoleon switch in here and stuck against a Giratina. This is not good at all. These Drill Pecks are hitting for neutral damage, but all of this water type damage is resisted on this Giratina. The Shadow Claws are hitting for neutral. The Giratina does go for Shadow Sneak. But this is very tough. Dragonite has a lot of work to do. Still has that Talonflame that we have to account for. And it's very unfortunate that the Empoleon is not going to be able to see this Talonflame. Going to save both shields for the Dragonite, recognizing that that is most likely the win condition. Going to let the Empoleon go down, but still has a minimal health Excadrill for a possible catch. And you can see he actually tried to go for the catch right there, but was unsuccessful and able to execute the Dragon Claw catch right there. Hits for resisted damage, wasted energy, preserves a little bit of health on Dragonite. StopAlcatraz has 2 shields and essentially only one Pokemon that is barely alive here. Times the Dragon Claw very nicely so the opponent does not sneak in any extra Incinerates. Very nice timing there once again. Trying to do as much Dragon Breath damage and get as much energy as possible without allowing the opponent to get in extra damage or energy with their fast moves. Shields up a Flame Charge, has to shield this as well. These Incinerates are going to do so much damage, but able to barely Dragon Breath it down in time. What is going to come out? They still have the Cresselia, they still have the Giratina. It's the Giratina, able to Dragon Breath it down. And then the Cresselia, this Dragon Claw is going to do just enough damage to take out the Cress. Good game. The next battle has been submitted by Danottawa. And this looks like we are playing in the Premier Cup, or the Remix Cup in Great League. And Dan is running a very spicy team here of Shadow, Kanto Ninetales, Pidgeot, and a Sirfetch'd. No shield the Body Slam there. This Kanto Ninetales is also running Overheat. Gonna go straight for the Overheat on this Balloon and see what happens. Oh my gosh. Balloon just goes bye-bye and out comes the Pidgeot here, going to preserve that Ninetales. This is essentially a neutral matchup across the board. Very, very spicy team by Dan here. This gust damage is really adding up. Gonna go for the Aerial Ace. What is in the back? The opponent is still stuck in this matchup because their Drifblim essentially just got absolutely nuked by the Overheat. Going to let this Body Slam go through. Not able to farm down the Vigoroth. Actually gets farmed down by the Vigoroth, which is not great. In the back is Amanda Buzz. Okay, this little bird is up against a big bird, but the Sirfetch'd has close combat, which is going to hit for pretty strong neutral damage. Actually successfully gets a shield bait on the first move, which is very, very nice. No Night Slash boost, though. Unfortunate. Mandibuzz does have access to Aerial Ace, which is going to be hitting for super effective damage on this Sirfetch'd. Sirfetch'd is going to be able to live one Aerial Ace. Throws the close combat right here. Going to do a good amount of neutral damage to this Mandibuzz. And then going to immediately swap into the Ninetales to be able to Fire Spin this thing down. And has a Weather Ball loaded. Going to be able to take out that Vigoroth. That Overheat nuke on the Drifblim in the opening was very awesome. Nice plays, Dan. Good game. Next up, we have 07 Nick 7-0. And we have a Scrafty against a Serperior here. Oh my gosh, this team is super wild. Scrafty, Masquerain, and what was that in the back? Seviper? So going to swap in the Masquerain to catch this move, and it actually ended up being an Aerial Ace, which is not super great, but these Air Slashes are hitting for super effective. I think the opponent was extremely confused on what in the world just came out, because I still am a little bit confused. Oh my gosh, Registeel shuts this thing down pretty well. Went for the lunge debuff there. This Flash Cannon is definitely going to be able to take out this Masquerain, but it served its purpose of absolutely confusing the opponent. They switch out of that matchup, and oh my gosh, Scrafty is going to have so much play here. This is an Acid Spray Scrafty. Oh man. The Acid Spray gets shielded and then catches on Seviper, but actually ends up shielding anyways. That was a resisted Grass Knot. Seviper apparently learns Poison Fang here and gets a shield right there. I think the opponent is absolutely confused by the moveset, and I do not blame them. I honestly do not know Seviper's moves. It looks like it has access to Wrap as well, and that Acid Spray debuff on the Cresselia is actually making those Poison Fangs look like they're hitting for super effective. Out comes the Registeel once again, and we have our little Poison Snake stuck against this big steel monster. Gonna have to let the Seviper go down, and Scrafty should be able to clean up this game here. Gonna go for the foul play. No reason to Acid Spray this Registeel when shields are down. Down goes the Registeel. And thank goodness, still has a shield, because definitely going to need it for the Moonblast damage from this Crest. But Scrafty is going to be... Oh, they didn't even have Moonblast, but Scrafty is able to punch it down. Good game. This next battle has been submitted by Triptando. We have a G-Fisk into a G-Fisk mirror match. You love to see it. And we have instant lag desync from the start. So the opponent is half a turn ahead and one mud shot ahead, which already puts Triptando at a disadvantage. Not good at all. They successfully shield up the Earthquake. Another not really good scenario. They get baited. That's also very, very bad. And loses CMP on this move. Has to commit the second shield. But this is a pretty big disadvantage in this lead here. Going to go for the Earthquake, and it gets shielded. Not good. Farming, 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 farming. Here's the swap into the Altaria. Catches a big Earthquake. That is amazing. All that damage goes to waste, and this is a disaster. Bastiodon absolutely shuts down Altaria. What a wild team by the opponent. G-Fisk in the lead, and then they also have a Bastiodon in the back. You would assume that once you see the G-Fisk, hopefully Altaria is safe in the back, but that is not the case. Has to bring out the G-Fisk once again and get hit by a flamethrower here, which is not great. But I like the overfarm here just a little bit. Going to throw this Earthquake to be able to take out this Bastiodon. Still has a Sableye sitting in the back. Going to swap to it immediately. And in the back is a Cresselia. This Cresselia does have access to Moonblast though. But this Sableye looks fairly XL. Decently bulky at 1497 CP. Here comes the Moonblast. It will be hitting for super effective damage. But Sableye can tank that. No attack debuff. That's very good. I love the overfarm here, able to get to the foul play. Sableye does win CMP against Cresselia, so very nice energy management there. And needs to be able to get to this foul play against the G-Fisk. This G-Fisk is most likely barely going to be able to survive this foul play. And they are. But the Shadow Claw goes through, but this damage is going to register. One more Mud Shot should do the trick. Beautiful sack swap in the beginning, despite being hard punished on the swap in and potentially losing that lead. Next battle has been submitted by Arcano. And this is actually a Sylph Prismatic Cup battle. So we have a Ferrothorn against a Dragonite. This is in the Great League. Looks like this Ferrothorn is running Flashkin. The opponent attempts a sack swap there into a Gligar. These Power Whips will be hitting for neutral damage. The wing attacks from the Gligar are hitting for neutral damage as well. Just going to rip off all of this Power Whip damage. Snorlax and Hypno sitting in the back both have relatively neutral matchups against the Dragonite that we saw in the lead. Nice no shield on the Night Slash. Could have potentially been a dig because the opponent farms so much. Going to bring out the Hypno and recognize a good chance to get ahead on energy. This Hypno is running Ice Punch, which is going to do a lot of damage to this Dragonite. Keep in mind, this Dragonite is heavily overloaded on energy based on how much they farmed in the opening matchup there. So the opponent shields that. They now know that the Hypno is running Ice Punch. Look at this. Knowing that how much damage the Dragon Claw is going to do, very nice no shield on the first one, but has to shield this to guarantee that you get this Ice Punch damage off and either burn this second shield or take out this Dragonite here. Down goes to Dragonite. Nice immediate swap into Snorlax, not allowing the Hypno to get farmed down. Timing of the charge moves here is everything against these Incinerate users. You need as much damage and as much energy as possible, fitting in as many 1-turn licks against the 5-turn Incinerates as possible to make this more favorable matchup for the Snorlax. But this Talonflame is really ramping up, and Ferrothorn does not want to see this Talonflame at all. They still have a shield. Kind of unfortunate timing right here because the Incinerate did go through, needs to get to this Body Slam. But the Incinerate damage registers. How are you going to take out this loaded Talonflame? Bring in the Hypno and then immediately catch on the Ferrothorn. Get 1 Confusion 4-turn move in the 5-turn Incinerate. And then able to Confusion down the Talonflame. Amazing play there at the end. This next battle has been submitted by Yave112. And this is, this looks like it's in Remix Cup. And this is a triple lick team. Triple lick team. Or maybe this is in Open Great League. But we have a Snorlax on a Bastiodon. Out of the 3 lickers that we got going on here, I would say Snorlax is the best option against the Bastiodon because of the superpower damage. Going to go for a Body Slam bait. And the Bastiodon actually shields the first charge move from the Snorlax. Going to go for 1 superpower here. It goes through. Very nice. Commit to the second superpower here. And the Bastiodon actually double shields in the lead. Oh my gosh. Going to safe swap another lick user here. Munchlax. Gonna bring out the baby Snorlax here. Munchlax is slightly tankier. Hard punished by a power-up punch Medicham. But as you can see, the lick damage is hitting for super effective damage in return on the Medicham, even though the counters are hitting for super effective. And Munch is able to get to this next Body Slam. Very nice. This Medicham has to throw energy here. Still has 2 shields, but gonna save it for the XL Lickitung in the back. Let's see if this can clean up. Down goes the Medicham. Out comes the Bastiodon. And definitely going to start committing some shields here. What is in the back? It's a Serperior. So farming, farming, farming. Serperior is very bulky though. Gets hit by a Frenzy Plant. Recognizing that if the Serperior was running Leaf Tornado, you needed to save that Snorlax to clear the debuff. But farming, farming, farming. Here's the big catch. Able to catch it on the Snorlax. And very, very nice. Able to get to this Body Slam here. This is not going to be enough to take out the Serperior. Still has a Bastiodon to deal with. Serperior lives. Has to shield and commit to the farm down. And then hope that the Power Whip damage will be enough to take out this Bastiodon. Out comes the Bastiodon. Throws this immediately. Avoids getting hit by any more Smackdown damage. Down goes Bastiodon and able to lick down the Serperior. Very cool team and nice plays there. Up next we have Low Jazzman. And it actually looks like this battle is up against another content creator, Poke AK. So we have Probopass against Toxicroak. This is a disaster. Able to swap the Pelipper here, but hard punished by a Melmetal. Yikes. Hard countered in the lead and on the swap here is not ideal at all. Going to commit a Rock Slide and it looks like going to try to fight for switch advantage here. In the back is a Mandibuzz. That would be ideal if we can get the Mandibuzz aligned with that Toxicroak. So 1 shield has been spent on either side. This Pelipper gets to these Weather Balls in 5 wing attacks, which is the same pacing that the Melmetal gets to the Rock Slides. Able to get to another Weather Ball, but the opponent is not going to let switch advantage be had. So we're going to mix it up. Bring out the Mandibuzz here. Rock Slides are still going to hurt. Melmetal essentially beats all 3 Pokemon on this team. This is an absolute disaster. But able to take out the Melmetal. What is going to come out here? Out comes Sableye. So Mandibuzz has a lot of play against the rest of the team. But a return from the Sableye is going to do massive damage here. Most likely take out the Mandibuzz at this health. And Probopass is going to have to do some work here. Gonna bring out the Probopass, but the opponent immediately switches out and able to go into the Pelipper here. But not before it gets hit by a Mud Bomb. Able to live that and able to get to this Weather Ball. This is gonna do a lot of damage to the Toxicroak. Really good fast swaps in response. Has to spark it down with Probopass. And this Probopass is going to go for the Rock Slide against this Sableye and be able to take this game despite being hard countered in the lead and the swap. Very nice plays. Up next we have dankychan. We have an Umbreon into a Talonflame, and it looks like this is in Ultra Premier here. Wow, XL Umbreon, XL Alolan Ninetales, and XL Jellicent on this team here. Talonflame in the lead. They have farmed up a lot, but it is just a Flame Charge. Nice no shield on that move. Going to continue chipping it away with foul plays here. The opponent no shields once again. This Talonflame is very ramped up, but going to no shield this, and it's a Brave Bird, and Umbreon still survives, but does not want to get farmed down there, so actually safe swaps into Jellicent, and the opponent switches in an Empoleon, which is not a counter to a Jellicent, so potentially they are very weak to this Jellicent in the back. Able to successfully land the Shadow Ball on that first move, which is very nice. Going to no shield this Drill Peck. That damage is going to add up over time. Jellicent and Empoleon get to their charge moves at the same pacing. It takes 5 Hexes and 5 Waterfalls respectively to get to those moves. Loses the CMP tie here, and it looks like was going to go for the Bubble Beam. Potentially the opponent will shield, but they are already down a shield, and dankychan still has 2 shields. They no shield that Bubble Beam. Out comes a Shadow Machamp. Oh my gosh. If the Alolan Ninetales has Powder Snow, this is going to be a little bit scary, but luckily the energy was thrown into the Jellicent. Has to shield up this Cross Chop. It gets baited. Not super great. Extra counter goes through. That is not good. Going to throw this Weather Ball. Still has a Talonflame to deal with, and the opponent still has an Empoleon as well. They still have all 3 Pokemon remaining. Able to pull off a huge catch on the Umbreon and save that shield. The Cross Chop goes into the Umbreon and commits to the farm down against the Machamp. Out comes the Talonflame, throws 2 Powder Snows, then queues up the charge move. Very nice timing there to avoid any extra damage or energy. And then the opponent concedes the match. Very nice plays there, dankychan. And here we go, folks. This is the top battle of the week submitted by Qian Hong. Let's jump right into it. We have a Shadow Machamp into a Cresselia. This is a nightmare. So this is an open Ultra League. Going to farm, and attempt a catch on the Lapras, but the opponent does not take the bait. Now we have essentially a very loaded Cresselia, and Lapras is not a counter to Cresselia, but able to force this Cresselia to dump some energy. Just needs as much chip damage off on this Cresselia as possible, but they switch out and preserve it. Loses the CMP tied to the Alolan Muck. This is an absolute disaster. Has to let it go. This Machamp is very, very loaded on energy. Going to throw the Cross Chop here, but an extra Snarl goes through. This is not good at all. Going to throw the Cross Chop, extra counter goes through. Going to no shield this, and the opponent actually went for a Dark Pulse despite having enough energy for a Sludge Wave. The reason they did this is they wanted more farm with their Cresselia. So actually a very nice play by the opponent because they want more farm, but able to get to another Rock Slide here. This is really chipping away at this Cresselia despite being extremely hard countered in the lead here. And the opponent actually makes a catch on their Swampert. They preserve that Cresselia in the back. So Qian Hong is going to switch into the Articuno. Shielding this first move is always the correct play because this is the move that is going to do the most damage. The opponent does have a double shielded Swampert, but these Ice Shards and these Icy Winds are really going to add up. The switch clocks are slightly out of sync because the opponent did switch and caught a Cross Chop there. So Qian is aware of that. And this is actually perfect timing. The opponent throws this move right here, and then Qian is going to throw the move to stall out the switch clock to make sure that he can switch into the Machamp if the opponent switches. Right there, perfectly reads the swap and catches this energy onto the Machamp. Gonna be able to farm down this Cress and land the Icy Wind on the Swampert despite being insanely hard countered in the lead. Machamp into Cress is absolutely terrible. Thank you everyone so much for submitting your battles this week. If you would like to be possibly featured in next week's top battles of the week, make sure to check down in the description for how you can submit your gameplay. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content, and I'll see you in the next video.